Was going for an all-black sleeper build. I don't like RGB unless it's peripherals. With the light version, I believe get less case fans, so I invested in 4 PMW case fans. Works wonders. Airflow is very good if set up properly, and heat from the PSU just goes right out of the top exhaust for it. CPU temps for my OC FX3650 never exceeds 60 Celsius even at full load. I really like the power button feel. High quality and feels sturdy. Nothing on this case feels cheap whatsoever. I've dealt with a lot of budget cases and by far this is the best. TLDR, don't know about the RGB one, but the light version is 10/10. Very likely gonna wanna buy extra fans. Comes with 2. Sturdiest and highest quality budget case I've ever worked with. Contends with the big boys in my opinion. Get this. A good case, but be forewarned, this requires a 5 volts RGB header, whereas most new boards are 12 volts. I needed to move a motherboard into a smaller case, and this was the cheapest option I could find that would hold an ATX motherboard. Since Supermicro likes to use non-standard mounting holes, I had to use 3 plastic standoffs when installing the board. Note that while an ATX will fit, it will cover up most of the cable routing holes and will also make the drive mounting plate next to the motherboard unusable. This might be a problem if you have more than 3 2.5 drives. The case only came with 2 fans installed. I added 2 more to the bottom. Cons: 1, this case really could have used a top fan to help exhaust air. It runs hot with a dual zone setup, but on the other hand it's probably not really a intended use case. CPU's idle at 44 C2, power supply gets a little warm, not sure if that's due to being enclosed at the top of the case. It didn't get warm in the old case, but the old case was a full-size 4U rack case with pretty good airflow. I also don't really like how the PS fan has to point down at the motherboard. Like the headline says, this case is great. After I got all my parts moved over to the case and saw the lights glow, I was glad I spent the money. That being said, you should check the USB 3 ports on top of the case before you move anything over. This case is only my second computer case, so I am not experienced on how often USB ports arrive slightly wonky, but I was not prepared for this. One of the 4 silver pins inside of the USB ports was bent improperly. I noticed this but assumed that the pin would bend the right way if I muscled a male USB into the port. This was incorrect. I had to go out and buy some D-pins because I had nothing small and strong enough to fit under the pin and unbend it. Click link in description for more reviews.